Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Dammit Jim's Gun Info. Today I'm going to review really briefly with you the Kel-Tec RDB 17. There are two different versions. There's the RDB 17, which is a 17.3 I believe inch barrel, and then you have the RDB 20, which I believe is a 20.3 inch barrel. But this is a bullpup rifle manufactured by the company Keltec. It's in 5.56 NATO or 223 Remington. It is a short stroke gas system with a rotary bolt. It's got an adjustable gas system right here. So the overall length is 27.3 inches. The barrel is 17.2 inches. So if you really think about it, here the magazine goes in here, so the chamber is right here. So we're effectively measuring from about here to the end of the barrel. Let's see here. The barrel is 6 grooves right hand twist with a 1 in 7 revolution. The barrel is AISI 4140 steel with salt bath nitrate finish. As you see right here in front of you, it accepts all different types of Stenag, USGI, and aftermarket AR15 magazines. So you can use your 10 rounders in there, but just be aware when you use your 10 rounder, it fits nearly flush. So whenever you go to eject it, this is the ejection button right here. If it's got any problems, you may end up having to put a 550 cord loop or a piece of tape or something on there so that you can actually pull this out of your weapon. 5-round magazines might present a slight problem as well because they're shorter still. Then you got your USGI 20 rounders. This one here I've taken and put in a mag pull, finger pull on the bottom of. You get your 20 round mag pull magazines without a window. You get your 30 round mag pull mags with the window. You've got the standard, aluminum USGI magazines. I've replaced the follower on this with the Magpul 4-way anti-tilt followers. You've got your H&K for Heckler & Koch 5.56 magazines, Pro Mag 40 rounders. These are really nice. You can also use the Pro Mag 50 rounders. Now I will warn you, if you use these 50 rounders, which is a good thing about them is they've got metal magazine catch, so they're built to last. But whenever you actually insert this into the magazine, well, this portion here makes getting a good grip on the pistol grip and the trigger area kind of uncomfortable. It's a little less ergonomic. So something just to be aware of. So you can use pretty much any one of the magazines that are out for the AR-15. So we'll move those off here to the side. Okay, with the magazines moved aside, we'll move this puppy a little bit closer so you can actually see it a little bit better. Now, like I said, this is the Kel-Tec RDB, and it's in 5.56. The thing that's really neat about this is this is a bullpup rifle, which means that the magazine is back here. The magazine release is activated by either your hands grabbing a magazine, or you can use the back of the heel of your palm just by moving your hand backwards to eject the magazine. So it's just another option as far as doing that. You have your magazine as your bolt release right here. So if you have a magazine and everything in there, you can pull this down, or because of the manner in which the operating system ends up in, you can do what we like to jokingly refer to as the HK slap. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. What I have on it right now, as you can see, it's got the ambidextrous short throw selector lever here from fire to safe. It ejects straight down from here, so when it recoils, the bolt goes over the top of the magazine and then dumps the round out of the bottom here of the ejection port. So the ejection port is center line, so the rounds fall directly down from that location. So what we have on here now is some flip up 45-degree angle sights. These both fold down when you want to put it in storage. As you can see, they've got fiber optic inserts that makes, depending upon what your light level is, you can pick them up a lot faster. On top, we have a 1x6 by 24 variable power true glow scope set up for 5.56. The optic I like has a great reticle. It also has target turrets, is what I like to call it. You can see the mechanism up here. Once you get your rifle sighted in, you can actually loosen the screws on the turrets, return them to 0, tighten them back down again. So all of your movement or your corrections at windage elevation for the varying distances after that will actually be from 0 at 100 yards, for example. So that's a neat little thing to have. Then you have your throw arm here that you can rotate it from 1 to 6 power. Then you can adjust for diopter back here for if you wear glasses or something along those lines to adjust that. And another thing that's nice that comes with this is the scope comes with dust covers for protecting the lenses, but they're magnetic and they automatically come installed and they flip up out of the way. So just to close them, and bam, they've got magnets inside them that will keep them closed. Let's see, till you pop up the rear sights, you just push the button in and they pop up so that you can, if you're shooting your weapon, bang, 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 and the scope goes down, gets a bullet in it, the glass breaks, something along those lines, and you have to engage a target close by, you can just rotate it 45 degrees and use the standard iron sights at that 45-degree angle to further engage whatever target you're shooting at. So that's something that I like about putting 45-degree offset optic iron sights whenever I'm using an optic as a backup. So it was always a backup to a backup. So 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is 2 kind of mentality. Okay, so we have several sling points here, here, here. You got one up here and on the other side. So we're going to flip her over now. Okay, put a little piece of plastic back in there. So to take her apart, you'd end up popping several of these pins out here. But again, you can see the same short throw selector lever on this side. Okay, again, you can see how the magazine release is ambidextrous because of being center line. You've got, again, more sling points. And here's the charging handle. The charging handle can be moved to the other side, but whenever you pull it all the way back to the rear, so we're going to have to pull it back, and then you rotate up and it locks to the back, locks up. So the bolt is locked to all the way to the rear. Now what I said was, like we do the H&K slap, anybody that's operated an H&K rifle that has that style, like the MP5 for example, the charging handle on that, you would pull it back and rotate it up. So you put the new magazine in, then you would just slap it and then it would feed around home. So what I'm going to do right now is show you how that is with a magazine with a dummy round in it, and then I'll show you how it ejects. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this dummy round. It has no primer in it. It's been the dimples on the side to show that this is a dummy round. There's nothing in it powder-wise. You take it, you can load it. You use these to check feed and function of your firearms. So we've got the one round in there. So what you'll do is you'll put it into the magazine well. Okay, so now it's locked into the magazine well. So for us to send that home, all you have to do is slap, and it feeds that round all the way in, and the charging handle returns to its forward position. Then whenever we go to eject it, we'll go ahead and push that back. As you watch, it should fall right out underneath right here. Okay, and then because of the last round in the magazine, the bolt stop is activated and it locks the bolt to the rear. So then you can pull that further back, or you can let it go back forward into its position there. The charging handle does not reciprocate with the firing of the rounds. So you can bang, 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 and shoot, and the firing does not affect this. This will stay all the way forward until you grab it and pull it all the way to the rear. Now this is adjustable. You can move this. You have to disassemble the upper receiver, or this receiver portion here, and then you can take and move this to the other side if you're a left-handed shooter. So it does have some minor changes that you can actually make to it so that you can be a left or right-handed shooter. So now, as I said here, you take and you push here with your hand, and it ejects your magazine. So it's a really neat weapon. Something that I was looking forward to, before we actually get into that, it comes with a sling. It's got the standard H&K clips on it so that you can take and attach it to one of their swivel points. So you can have a sling mounted with it, but they give you one, or you can use an aftermarket sling if you desire. So it's up to the shooter. What we'll do is we'll move this over here. So the neat thing about this, I've found through some different research, is that whenever you are shooting this firearm with a suppressor, one thing to be aware of, again, you have the adjustable gas system so that you can reduce the amount of gas pressure so you don't put too much accelerated wear on your bolt, because the gas back pressure may cause the bolt acceleration. So you can adjust that to where it just fires and operates correctly with the right gas setting. But if you wanted to do different magazine drills, do different practicing, things along those lines, is what you can do is that you can adjust this, and this will actually fire blanks. So you have a magazine of blanks and everything right here. The magazine will fit. It's a standard USGI mag, but it has a Magpul window installed. I got this from Magpul in about 2005, 2006. They were playing around with these before they decided to put this into all of the polymer magazines. I don't think Magpul makes any more metal magazines, but this was their initial foray into those, with another one of their bumper pads on the bottom where you could see the notches. You can grab your fingers there to pull it out of your magazine pouch if you needed to. And if you dropped it, it would bounce off of that and it wouldn't damage the bottom of your magazine. But like I said, you can take and you can put your standard blank firing adapter on your gun. So now, if you want to, you can actually load this in there, and you can actually practice target drills, different things in the backyard, for example, without actually worrying about projectiles or anything along those lines. You can practice magazine drills, things along those lines. So it gives you another added training opportunity with the blank firing adapter on there. Okay, a couple more things with the blank firing adapter removed that I wanted to go over. It's got a nice rubber bumper pad here on the back that goes against your shoulder. The recoil on this is very mild, similar to shooting an AR. Again, remember the shortage of the magazines, because that may or may not present a problem. There's no bayonet attachment or anything on this, so that will make it, I'm sure, more California friendly for those who may be considering getting one. It's got a lot of interesting, I don't know how you would say it, the aesthetics of it is really interesting from the perspective of whenever you're used to shooting ARs, you're used to having a whole bunch of weight forward whenever you're engaging. And what this does is, because it's a bullpup, puts the majority of the weight towards the back with the magazine. So the weight dynamics of this shifts slightly whenever you're actually shooting. As the magazine gets lighter and lighter, the weight focal point, I guess, would shift a little bit more forward whenever you're shooting this. So that's something just to be aware of. And yeah, it's a very interesting, it's really fast on target. It's very comfortable. The grip is very, very ergonomic. The selector lever is right there where it needs to be. It's got a standard A2 birdcage muzzle brake on there. So it's a really, really interesting firearm. And so if you're thinking about what do I want to end up getting, they run about $860, $870, depending upon where you end up getting them. So if you're thinking about a rifle that's different than an AR, I would suggest maybe consider the Kel-Tec RDB. I really like it. It is a just fun firearm just to play around with. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Dammit Jim's Gun Info. Please hit that subscribe button down below. And remember, always carry a knife, because there may be cake.